Dr. G here with naturalfoodstat.org. Right now I'm going to cook up a really quick meal, very nutritious, easy to fix, only takes a couple of minutes. It's way better than stopping at the fast food restaurant. So all we need for this is a stainless steel pan. We use this pan and it doesn't release toxins like Teflon can. Next thing we want is corn. Now, corn, as you may or may not know, sweet corn can be genetically modified. Okay, the problem with that, there's a Bt toxin that they genetically graft into the cell of the corn plant that is a toxin that kills insects. Well, there may be some health consequences to consuming that, so I think we want to avoid all Bt toxin in our food. So we want to get natural corn. In other words, we don't want genetically modified sweet corn. There's two companies that make this. Another gene that they splice into the corn plant is a gene that allows it to resist glyphosate, which is the herbicide Roundup. Now, this has been shown in several studies now to be building up in the soils, building up in the water supply, and it's highly toxic. So what we do is we try to get corn from a local grower, hopefully that uses some traditional seeds. Now, you can even try to get ancient corn or older corn, like the blue corn or varieties that haven't been so hybridized, to be sure you're getting something that's natural. Now, this corn is a little bit old because I forgot it was in the refrigerator, but it will probably still taste good. Now, corn is a grain that contains anti-nutrients. And so we don't want to rely solely on a food like this. We don't want to eat corn every day or be on a totally corn diet. But corn can be healthy in moderation. Now we want to cook corn, and that helps break down the anti-nutrients, makes it more digestible. Now corn actually is what allowed the North American and Central American native populations thrive. So without corn, there wouldn't have been these highly developed populations here in the Americas. Now we want to save the husks, of course, to put into our compost, to be green. So we take the corn ears and we just place them in boiling water, which I'm going to do here, and hopefully I won't burn myself. And we just boil them for about 20 minutes, very simple. Now, the next part of our meal is grass-fed beef burgers. Now, we know grass-fed beef is a great way to get the energy from grass that's so abundant on the planet and make it something that humans can digest. So here we have grass-fed beef from local cows. They're wandering out in the desert, eating little blades of grass. I don't know where the water comes from to support the grass, but the cows are out there eating the grass. So we want to make some burgers. Now, I usually get a higher fat content in my burgers than what people usually want. We've been brainwashed into believing that low fat is good. But in my opinion, beef fat, tallow, is one of the safest fats and healthiest fats that we can take in. So we want to take advantage of that when we have organic cows and get their fat. So we ask the rancher to make a higher fat content if possible. And these are the typical farmer's market, what most people want, the low fat burgers. But when I have a chance to order them customized, I try to get 20% fat. The typical mixture for restaurant burgers is the 20% fat, which is better if it's healthy fat. If you're getting cows from confinement operations, then their fat is full of omega-6s. It probably has toxins in it, so we wouldn't want the fat. Having a low-fat burger in that case is probably healthier. But when we know it's a healthy animal, raised in a pristine environment, we want the fat. The fat is healthy. The fat actually makes the burger cook better. It cooks in its own oils. And we place the burgers on there. Actually, I'm going to use the spatula. So we place the burgers on here. And there will be enough fat content. I didn't put any oil in the bottom of the pan. There'll be enough fat content. Now the way I like to cook the burgers is cook them done on the outside and leave the center red, almost raw. And the reason for that is we can leave some of the enzymes that are contained in the meat intact and not denature them with heat. And this just aids in digestion to some extent. And so eating a small amount of raw meat is good in that it gives us a little bit of a nidus of living enzymes to help us begin the digestion process. And then our own digestive enzymes can come in and take over. So we leave the corn cooking for 20 minutes. We cook the burgers on the outside, try to leave the center red with some of the enzymes still alive. And we have a wonderful meal. We have the carbohydrates, we have the fiber from the corn, and we have the vitamins and minerals from the meat. And then we have the healthy saturated fats and omega-3 fats from the grass-fed cow. So simple meal. It's way better than getting the genetically modified crap that the restaurants make and that the grocery stores sell. This is Dr. G. Thanks so much for watching.